What up, YouTube? This is Lamont at Large with my special guest, the Insane Chef. If you want to check out his channel, the link will be in the description box below. So we're parked here in Garland, and if you look on your screen, you're gonna see a house, a house with a very peculiar history that the Insane Chef wants to talk about really quick.
Yeah, I actually lived in this house from 1998 to 2000, and my uncle was doing some work in this house. Now, this house is the second oldest house in Garland, and my uncle was doing some work on it, and the skill saw he had, he set it down on the ground, and it ran across his toe and cut his little toe off. So the paramedics came, and they started telling us that this house was haunted. And they said that in the 1920s, a prominent doctor here in town, so Garland's a suburb of Dallas, and back then it was kind of outskirts, 15 miles or so from downtown. So the paramedics said that this house is haunted, and they'd had other calls to this house in prior years. And it was that a doctor in the 1920s, after the stock market crash, he actually murdered his wife upstairs there. And that front room was glassed in that you see there. It was like the garden room. Behind that was like an attic room, and they would use for storage and things. So it had low ceilings. So supposedly this doctor murdered his wife and hung her on a meat hook up in that attic room, and the house was haunted. So I would get these weird feelings sometimes when I would stay there at night, that a presence of something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not really superstitious or believing too much of the supernatural, but I did get that feeling that somebody was watching me and almost like touching the back of my neck. I remember sitting up in that room filling out some bills back when you paid your bills by checks before the internet and all. And the cat was sitting there, and the cat freaked out. Like, the cat can see things, you know?
Yeah.
So the cat freaked out. I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand up, so I closed the door of that room and came downstairs. And I believe at that time my daughter was maybe a year old or so, right after me and my wife had got married and had my daughter. So she went to her mother's house. I was home alone, me and the cat. And that cat sensed that ghost, you know, feeling of the ghost in there. But so before I moved from this location in 2000, these two old ladies showed up. They said they used to live in the house. Their family, it was their family's house back in the day, you know,
So
when they were kids.
They just stopped by.
They stopped by. They pulled up in a Pontiac. I think it was like a Grand Prix or something, you know. And I believe the name was Axe. I think she said my name is Mrs. Axe or something like that. And I looked them up, and they're like a prominent family from back in the day, like in the 30s and 40s in Garland. And it was one of their family's house, their aunt, uncle, something. So basically, she's saying that she said she was 93 and her sister was 91. They were really old. So they said, we grew up in this house. Our family used to live in this house. Can we come in and look at the house? And I said, well, sure, you know, come on in. I was getting all my stuff packed up and ready to move out anyway. I was just renting the house. And she said, I asked her, I said, you know, a few years ago, my uncle was over here helping me. We were working on some stuff over here, fixing some thing. And the paramedics came, and they said a doctor had hung his wife from a meat hook upstairs. Is that true? Do you know anything about that? And she said, oh, I don't know anything about that, but my aunt did die right where you're sitting. And it's weird. So if you see the room to the right here, the very far right of the house, that room, when I lived there, I closed the door to that room and never went in that room because I felt the presence of an entity. It didn't feel demonic or anything, but I felt, you could feel like
I felt like when somebody was watching.
somebody's watching you. Yeah, and I never went in that room, and the cat wouldn't go in that room. It was like that spirit was still in that room. So she clarified that she doesn't believe the fact that somebody died then. Now, she said she would have been, you know, like 20 years old at the time, so I'm thinking she would have known if that would have happened in the 20s, but She's saying no, it didn't happen, but her aunt did die in the house. So that's the story. I still don't know if the woman was actually hung by her husband.
Yeah, there's nothing online.
Can't find anything
saying-
about it. I even went to the library in town trying to research to see if I could find anything on it. I couldn't find anything on this. But pretty cool old house and a haunted story, because I did feel the presence of something in there.
Maybe I should go in there and
I don't know if anybody lives there now. It looks like it's just kind of
yeah, it looks empty. Nobody lives there anymore.
vacant. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the story. Hopefully that didn't happen, but nonetheless. All right, guys, I'm Lamont at Large, signing out.